Another welcome to another late night chat. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you click the like button as you enter the room, please. All right, so yesterday we had a pretty good time, pretty good chat. We kind of derailed and went off on some other things, but it was a pretty interesting conversation. So if you missed the conversation, make sure you go look at the live from yesterday on my channel. It's just some good conversation, some just it was really good conversation. So go ahead and check that out. Um, so let's go ahead and get started here. First on the agenda, I know you guys see the thumbnail there. So we're gonna start by talking about Chrisean and Blueface drama, right? So the other day, Chrisean went to the courthouse in support of Blueface, right? Currently, he's serving time in jail. I think he may have 2 years. I'm not quite sure how long he's supposed to serve, but I think it's probably 2 years, right? And so for some reason he had a court date. And she went up to the courthouse with her baby and she was pushing a stroller. And she was actually arrested um at the courthouse because she actually had a warrant out for her arrest. And of course the media caught a hold of it, TMZ and just everybody. They have pictures of her being handcuffed and taken out of the courthouse. So just a whole debacle, a whole mess, right? Um, so my thing is here, number one, Chrisean has been doing a lot the last 2 to 3 years. She's at a point where sis looks like she's about to crash and burn. And I feel like there have been some people in her life who have tried to help her. But there are also people that are in her life that have come into her life that didn't mean her well. Now, I know a lot of people say, she's young. I'm not quite sure how old Chrisean is, but I know she may be like 23, something like that. I don't think she's 25. I know she may be at the oldest 23, 24, or something like that, right? So, with that being said, I know at that age you're still young, you're still developing, you're still figuring out life, and at that age a lot of times you don't want to listen to anyone's advice. At that age, when you when you hit 18, you feel like you're grown because technically, legally, you are, right? So you feel as if, okay, I'm grown. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. I really don't want anyone telling me what to do at this point now. You say to yourself, you've endured 17 years of people telling me what to do. Now I want to make my own decisions. So when someone comes to you and say, hey, you know what? I don't think that's a good decision. You 9 times out of 10, a lot of teens, 18-year-olds, 19, 20, 21, they may go in the opposite direction because they feel as if they've been told what to do their entire lives, all the way to 17 years old. So it's like I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20, I'm in my 20s. I don't want to be told what to do anymore. And so that's the stance that a lot of young adults take, just from my observation, okay? And so I feel like, coupled with a lot of childhood trauma that Chrisean has experienced, and then, just what I stated, I feel as if she really doesn't want to listen to anyone. And I don't think it's necessarily anyone in her corner who can really give her sound advice that she would actually listen to. So, on one hand, hey, Ferret, on one hand, I'm just like, everybody's like, she needs someone in her life. She needs someone to give her some direction, some guidance. And that's true, but you can't direct or guide anyone who doesn't want to be guided. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. How has your night been? So far, so good. How's your night? She's just like, to me, she's definitely a hard-headed person, and sometimes you have to hit your head. And a lot of times when people hit their head one time, they're like, okay, I don't want to do that again. But for some reason, Chrisean keeps hitting her head. And she keeps hitting it and banging it against the wall, but she's just not paying attention to the lessons that you're supposed to learn. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Good night so far. A little sleepy, so I may end up cutting it a little short, but just kind of want to go over some of these little topics here. But yeah, I just feel like Chrisean is just like a hard-headed person, and she's young, so she definitely doesn't want to listen to what anyone has to say, even if they had like some of the same experiences that she's going through. You know, sometimes we rather listen to people who've been through something similar, and then we feel like they have the authority to give us suggestions or comments or, things like that. But I really think like I think she just really is hard headed and doesn't want to listen. So fast forward until the other day when she was arrested at the courthouse. And I'm just like, my goodness, she knew she had a warrant out for her arrest. So why would you even play with the law like that and go down to the courthouse thinking that you're not going to get arrested? So did you not think they were ready? Did you not think that they were thinking that she's going to show up, right? That's just weird to me. And I'm like, if you cared about your child, if you cared, like you say you care about your child so much, like you would have gotten that warrant taken care of. But to me, I feel like she feels as if she's above the law. I feel like Chrisean feels like she's above the law and she can continue to get away with what she wants to get away with. And what happened yesterday, well, the other day with her being arrested at the courthouse, I feel like that should be a wake-up call for her to let her know that she's not above reproach, she's not above the law, and that she needs to handle her business and take care of things. And if you want to be able to be there for your child, like one parent is already in jail. Blueface is already in jail. Why would you endanger yourself of being taken to jail as well? You might as well, she should have taken care of that warrant a long time ago. That's my thing. And then, so at the courthouse, there was video, the grandparent was there, Blueface's mother and father was there, and they are arguing about basically arguing or having a discussion about who's going to take the baby. Nobody wants to take the baby. So I'm just like, the father was actually staying at the house with Chrisean, Blueface's house with Chrisean, taking the baby to different places, taking the baby and caring for the baby while she's doing her little, what does she do? Like she plays in like a women's football league or something like that. So he's been caring for the baby along with her. But when the time comes to step up to the plate to take care of the baby when it's needed because both parents are in jail, he doesn't want to do it. And then Blueface's mother is like, she don't want to take it too. But she's saying that she didn't want to take care of the baby because she's saying that she was mad that Blueface's father didn't want to take care of the baby because how are you going to act like you are a grandparent and taking care of the child, but then when it's really time to step up, you don't want to do so? So that was her point. I understand what she's saying. Like, you pretty much been around the whole time. Now when it's time to step up at a most pivotal point, you're saying no. Like, that's weird. But it's just weird to me, period, that neither one of the grandparents wanted to take the child. That's just weird to me all the way around. But Blueface's mother, what's her name? Clarissa, or whatever her name is, stated that Chrisean had an order. So she kept saying order. So I'm thinking it's some kind of legal order that if something happened to her, that her friend Marsh would take the baby. And so they're saying that's who has the baby right now. And so that's the end of it. Now, is she out of jail yet? No. I didn't look up any updated information because it tires me. Like, Blueface and Chrisean tires me. I've done a reading on them a couple of times, but their energy just tires me. And I can't wait until they just go sit down somewhere and just really do something with themselves instead of using the spotlight to garner clicks and views and just different things like that. That's just not my thing. So I know she's still in jail. I don't think she has a bail, but yeah, that's that right now. So Hopefully this will be a wake-up call for her where she gets her stuff together, she gets her ish together. She stops chasing after Blueface, because if, let me tell you something, if a man tell you he don't want you, take that as a clue. Take that as a direct message, not even a clue. Take that as a direct message that he does not want you. Let me say it again. If a man says he does not want you, that means he does not want you. Okay? So take that as a direct message and do with it as you please. And when I say do with it as you please, I mean take that information and really do something with it. Mean move on with your life. So if any person that you're interested in tells you that they don't want you, they don't like you, they can't stand you, they're going to always choose somebody else over you, take that as a lesson learned and move on. Because me, I know what I'm going to do. If somebody's have the audacity to say they don't want me, you ain't going to hear from me ever in life again. You only got to tell me once. And more than importantly, I'm probably going to pick up on the cues anyway, so you ain't even got to tell me. I'm going to already be gone. Because I know when I'm cared for and when someone genuinely cares for me and when they don't. Okay? So, with that being said, hopefully Chrisean is learning her lesson as she's sitting up in that jail cell. Hopefully that baby is being taken care of. I'm not going to get on the subject of the baby because it usually causes an uproar with people. People on YouTube and on social media and on Instagram, they like to troll and just get into this whole hoopla over this baby. I think the main thing about it is everyone that talks about this baby wants the best for this baby. And it's obviously that there is something going on developmental wise that needs to be taken care of. And so I think that's the main reason why people are concerned about Chrisean's baby, because it's obvious to people that have eyes. It's obvious to people who have children that there are some things that needs to be taken care of with that baby, because the developmental stages that the baby is supposed to hit, every marker, there's something going on. Okay, that baby's supposed to be 7, 8, 9 months, and you looking at other babies at that time. True, every baby is different, but there are certain miles and markers and milestones that each child is supposed to reach at a certain amount of months, and that baby does look severely developmentally challenged. And so I think that's why a lot of people are concerned and genuinely concerned and want what's best for the baby, right? So that's my thing about Chrisean and Blueface. It's still drama. They are tiring. Their energy is tiring to me. But hopefully with her being in jail, locked up, this will give her enough time to be able to think about things and make some better decisions in her life for herself and for the baby. And forget about Blueface. He is trash. He is dusty. He is all the above. Girl, leave him alone. Okay? So that's my take on Blueface and Chrisean, and I'm going to leave it at that because I'm tired of talking about them already. Let's move on to the next person on the docket, okay, on the list. Let me bang my gavel, bang, 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 okay? Let's get on to Mr. Willard Smith. Is it Willard or William? I heard that his real name is Willard. Mr. Willard Smith, okay? So, of course, you know, we can talk about the movie Bad Boys that came out. I heard that it was really good. Haven't seen it as of yet. I'll probably wait till it comes out on, like, a premium channel or Hulu or an app or something, because that's what I do now. But it is what it is. I don't go to the movie theater too often. Maybe once a year or once every 2 or 3 years. I don't know. But I'm so used to being at home since the pandemic, so, and I'm a homebody, so that just made it even worse. But anyways, it was something different that I wanted to, it was a different angle that I wanted to take about Will Smith. So I saw a clip today on a blog where a comedian, I think it was Dan Schneider, I believe it was him, the guy that played on Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo. That was like one of my favorite movies back in the day. I had that on like, was it? It was on VH. No, it wasn't VHS. I think I had that on DVD. That's when DVD like really started coming out. I think I had that on DVD. Yeah. That was like one of my favorite movies. Like, it's still hilarious to this day. Anyway, he was on a radio show or a podcast or something, and they brought up Will Smith's name. And he was like, he's a dirtbag. He's an a-hole. He's like a fraud. He's like, every name in the book, damn near, that you can think of. That's what he said about Will Smith. And I'm like, wow. And other I was going to say newscasters, the other people that were on the podcast, they were like, wow, like they never heard that before. And they were saying that, hold on, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb right quick, guys, so we won't get disturbed. All right. So, I don't know what you're talking about, troll. So, the people who were on the podcast with Dan Schneider, they were basically like kind of like in awe. Like, I thought he was like a really cool guy. I thought he was like really nice, because most of the time when people say they come in contact with him, they say that he's like a really nice person. He's impressionable. He's very giddy. He has like a very good personality. And so Dan Schneider's like, yeah, he's nice, blah blah blah. But they was like, he's like, that's fake. That's not who he is. He's an a-hole. He's a T word, TWA, put the other letter to it. And I'm just like, wow. And he was like, Dan Schneider felt as if Will Smith literally should have been arrested that night when that slap occurred with Chris Rock. And he feels like, I think he said he was actually part of the committee for, what was it, was that the Oscars? Or was that the Golden Globes? No, I think it was the Oscars. Like, they have a committee of people. I guess they vote or whatever, however it works. And he was part of that committee. He felt like they weren't able to kind of speak their mind about what they really thought about the situation. He felt as if he should have been punished for that whole debacle. And he just says that Will Smith is not a nice person. And he was like, and one of the other radio hosts was like, well, do you think it's kind of like take the position of him being a stand-up guy for taking it up for his lady, like his wife? And he was like, no, you shouldn't put your hands. Dan Schneider was like, you shouldn't put your hands on any man, like any person. Like, that's just wrong. So I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, we shouldn't put our hands on other people. Now, Dan Schneider, are you saying this because you actually had a movie with Chris Rock, so that's your man, that's like your dude, that's your partner, that's that's your ace? Like, you gonna take his side because y'all done a movie together or so? Is that what it is? But I understand where he's coming from with all of that, the side of, okay, you shouldn't hit anyone. You shouldn't put your hands on anyone. You should be able to control yourself. You should be able to control your anger. You should channel it in a different way, handle it in a different way, not just necessarily with physical violence. And I do understand that fact. It's just an interesting situation. If he would have got arrested, then I understand why, because that's an assault. But since he was not arrested, it's just public opinion on what you think should have happened. And so, I mean, should he have put his hands on someone? No. Did Chris Rock physically touch Jada, or did he physically touch Will? No. But his words and sarcasm and his jokes of talking about Jada with all of these eyes in the room and all of these people who were there for this special event, and it's almost like you're kind of like making fun or poking fun or humiliating another person in front of a group of people, you can understand how that may cause a reaction, because everything is a cause and effect. So if you don't think there's going to be effect to your cause, then you're misunderstood. You misinformed. You just don't understand how things work. And we live in a world where you don't know how people will take things. And sometimes they take things too far. People deal with anger management issues. People deal with, mental health issues. So you never know how people respond to what you put out. So you just have to be aware of that. Again, are we downplaying the idea of physical violence? No. But everyone should play their part, and everyone should understand the role that they play in certain situations. Is Will Smith a bad person? I have no idea. I have never met him. Do not know. But, hey, It is what it is. Those were his opinions, and hey, everybody's opinions are valid. It is what it is. My skin is black because I am talking. This is audio. I am not showing my face, but welcome. All right, so let's move on to the next topic on the docket. Okay, bang, bang, bang. We banging a gavel. Let's move on to the next topic. So we're talking about Martin Lawrence, right? So, okay, we just spoke about Will Smith and his little, you know, I guess hiccup or um, debacle with Dan Schneider and him revealing and saying that he's a fake person and it's all a facade and he's really not a good person. I just want to keep repeating that because it's just funny. But anyways, of course, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence came out with the movie. Like I said, haven't seen it yet, may see it, whatever. Now, with Martin Lawrence, there have been a couple of things going on in the media with him the last couple of weeks as he was with Will Smith promoting the Bad Boys 4, I believe, movie, right? So we all have eyes. We all have experience in life. We all have seen people who have been sick at some point in time in our family life, with our family, with our friends, whatever, even on TV. We can notice when someone is going through something and when someone is battling something and when someone is sick. So there's been, mumblings and whispers and gossip about, Martin and his health-wise. Like, is he okay? Because the Martin that we've seen over the last 30 years or so, he's always been this vibrant guy. Of course, he's a comedian as well, so he's always been vibrant, vocal, physicality, physical wise, he's always still been able to get around. Hey niece, definitely you can't see me. I'm not on camera. It's audio. You're just listening to my voice. Welcome. So he's always been this vibrant person, physically and just character-wise and personality-wise. But people have noticed over the last couple of weeks as he's been promoting the movie Bad Boys 4 with Will Smith, his movement, his actions are a little slow. It's reminiscent of someone possibly if they may have had a stroke or if they're just struggling with some type of physical ailment. It looks like maybe his mouth is a little droop or twisted. It's just not the same person that we normally are used to seeing in the media. Now, granted, he's been away from the media for a while. I think he's about maybe 56 or 59 years old, maybe. So he's heading towards 60s. And sometimes there are some people as they head into older age, some people are fortunate to still be physically in good condition. And then there's some people who may suffer from specific ailments and their health may decline as they get older, unfortunately. And so for him not being in the spotlight for a number of years and then just kind of coming out the last 2 or 3 years or so because he made public appearances with former castmates, Tisha Campbell and who's the other one who played Gina and then who played Pam on Martin, made appearances here and there. And he still looked okay then, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But now, as he's coming out with this movie, it's like a drastic change, and people are noticing that. So people are expressing their concern, like, is he okay? Does he have any health issues? Now, I do understand, even just as a normal person that's not a celebrity, sometimes you want to keep your business to yourself, especially if it's dealing with health-wise. You just don't want everybody in your business. You don't want to put it out there. Sometimes you may feel as if it may hinder future roles. Sometimes, producers and, movie execs may not want to offer you the role because they may think that you're a liability and that, employing you for this movie, you may cost them more money. You may not be able to finish the actual movie. You may not be able to finish the film. Just look at what happened to Jamie Foxx, you know what I mean? And they stated that they had to Did they finish the movie, or did they have to finish it with AI and like a body double or something like that? But the thing is, sometimes these movie execs, they don't want to take the risk if they think that you're a liability. So that may be one reason why he just hasn't come out. And then another reason I feel is if he just was kind of like almost like in retirement mode. Like he's been in the industry for maybe 30 plus years. So it's like, his time, the pinnacle of his success, the height of his success has been reached, and he'll always be loved. He'll always be revered to a lot of people. But it's safe to be able to fade into the background because he has contributed enough to, I would say, entertainment, and the comedy world, and Hollywood. And so, that may be another reason why he kind of faded into the background. So that's why it's equally puzzling to a lot of people to see him come back into the forefront, and they see that physically he's not doing well. So what do I think? Just my opinion. Opinions are not facts. I feel like he is going through something. I think that he does have some type of health ailment, or something that did happen, or something that he's currently going through, but he chooses not to tell the media or to tell the fans or to tell people at this time, just because he wants to keep certain things to himself. And I think he wants to keep it amongst close family and friends and keep the support there. A lot of times when you tell the masses, or you tell your fans, or you tell people certain things that's going on in your life, everybody doesn't mean you well. And it's just something about keeping certain things to yourself private, and only sharing that with a small group of people. And I think that's what's going on right now. I definitely do think there's something going on with him health-wise, and that's up to him to keep it to himself. That's his prerogative. That's his choice. That's his decision. He can keep that to himself if he want to. But at the same time, I think celebrities do have to understand that being a public figure, you're going to have to remember that people are invested not only in your work, but they are invested in your life too. And so when you get married, you have children, you get a divorce, whatever happens, just as they're there for your entertainment, your films, your music, or whatever it is, they're also there for the shortcomings and the happy times in your life as well. So you just got to understand, as a celebrity, as an entertainer, the fans are going to want to be invested in your personal life as well as in your entertainment side of the business. Now, is it their business? No. But again, you are a face, you are a brand. And so that's just a part of being in Hollywood, okay? But I do see that he has come out on a radio show and just basically said, stop all the rumors, stop all the speculation. I'm good, I'm fine. And if he says he's fine, hey, just roll with it. If you think something else is really wrong with him, send him well wishes, send him, prayers of healing or whatever it is, and keep it pushing. Obviously, he doesn't want to tell us anything, okay? So it is what it is. But just to let y'all know, your eyes are not deceiving you. We know what we see, okay? And from that, we'll move on. All right. The last topic on the docket that we're going to talk about today is Michael Jackson's children. Okay, so I know you saw them on the thumbnail. So I saw this bit of information today. I thought it was pretty interesting. It says that his children have been blocked from receiving money from his trust. And so I thought that was very interesting because I saw a title. You know how they have these salacious titles where, they have to captivate and they have to capture the reader in like 0.2 seconds to get that click and to get that view. Because, of course, now we have an attention span of 0.2 seconds now. So they have to have like some type of salacious, my favorite word, salacious, title that's captivating, right? So when I kind of looked further into the situation, it's basically stating that they've been blocked from receiving money from his trust until the estate and the IRS settles a dispute. So there's this dispute going on with Michael Jackson's estate and the IRS, and they're stating that the estate owes $700 million. If I read that correctly, because I was like, what, 700,000? No, they said $700 million in taxes and penalties. And I'm like, whoa. So that is the reason why they are putting the funds on that estate on hold, and his children are not receiving their payments. So all that I gotta say is I hope that they have stored for a rainy day, because if I read correctly, I believe that this has been going on for over a year. So I believe they have not been receiving any type of payments from the estate for over a year. And I'm like, wow. If they were really depending on that money from Michael Jackson's estate to pay their bills, like on a monthly basis or yearly basis or whatever, like, hopefully they've invested or have businesses, or they've done well with that money to put it to work for them. So while this, I guess, court case is going on between Michael Jackson's estate and the IRS is going on, hopefully they still have funds to be able to carry on with their life and regular life expenses, okay? So I thought that was very interesting. Like, how does it get to a point where the estate owes $700 million in taxes? Who is over that estate? Like, who is the overseer of that estate? Because that's just like really weird to me. I don't understand how that happens. That's like mismanagement. So who is the manager of that estate? And if it is, I don't believe it's the Michael Jackson's mother. I do believe she's a beneficiary. She's like a sub-beneficiary of the estate, but the children are the primary beneficiaries of the of that estate. So I don't know who the manager is of it though. So that's very weird. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's some shady dealings or whatever, but yeah. So, and then, in reading this and then kind of going and digging into social media to see what people are saying about this particular topic, people are going to delve into the idea of, well, those are not Michael Jackson's children. Those with eyes can see. Now, we do know that DNA is a marvelous thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a mysterious, well, kind of mysterious. It can be mysterious because when different DNA get together, especially in melanated DNA, you can pull from generations and two parents that are fairly, barely, or rarely, I would say really dark skin or brown skin can have a child that's light skinned with green eyes or blue eyes. So DNA is funny like that. But if y'all just want to tell us through DNA that these are his biological children, me personally, again, this is my opinion. It is not facts. It is opinion. I don't believe those are his biological children. However, I don't care. He raised those children from birth as his own. So those are his children. And whether, I believe, would he have those children with Debbie Rowe? I think that was the woman that he supposedly had those children with, Michael Jackson. The lady was Debbie Rowe. I remember seeing it all in the media when I was younger. So regardless if they used her eggs and his sperm or they didn't use his, and I don't know what happened. It's some weird shit happened, but Debbie Rowe is supposedly the mother. I think of the first two, Paris and Prince. I'm not quite sure about Blanket. I forgot his real name. I don't want to call him Blanket because he probably doesn't even go by Blanket anymore. But I think he actually had a different mother, I believe. And he looks totally different from the older two. The eldest two children, Michael Jackson's children. But regardless of if people feel like that's biologically not his children or not, they are his children. They are listed as his children. He raised them as his children from babies. Those are his children. So if people have issues with that, that's just like having a step parent, like a step parent that comes in and raises their stepchildren just like their own, like just like that was their biological children, and there is no distinction. Like the step parent even refers to the stepchildren as their own children. They never use the word step. It kind of reminds me of that. It's like a correlation of that. It's the same thing. So even if those are not his biological children, he claimed those children as his. He's taken care of them since they were born. They lived with him only. He had primary custody, so those are his children. So I don't care what nobody says. All right. So either way it goes, we'll keep an eye out on that just to see how this progresses and what's the resolution for this. But hopefully they can come to a resolve real soon. Because, child, $700 million in taxes owed to the IRS by a state, that's really mismanagement. Who is the manager? I'm gonna have to go research this and get back with y'all because I feel like some real shady shit going on with that. Cause how $700 million? So this has to be over a period of time. Like, I don't understand, but we'll see. We'll look that up and see what's going on. But if there are not any questions, if y'all don't want to talk about anything, that is all for today. And if there is any other topic that you guys like me to cover, after dark, celebrities, or any other type of topic, it doesn't even just have to be celebrities. It can be any topic. Yesterday we went off on the government. We talked about vaccines. We talked about food. We talked about veganism. We talked about everything. So if there are any type of topics or conversations that you want to go into, do leave that in the comment section of this video, and then I'll go pick that up and we can add that to the docket for our next After Dark Live. So welcome to everyone who showed up. If I missed you, make sure you hit the replay button. Thank you for your view. Thank you for your like. I have information pinned in the description box as well as in the comment section, how you can get in touch with me if you'd like to get a reading, any of those things. Again, if there are any topics you like me to cover and you like to dialogue and converse with me, definitely leave that in the comment section. Other than that, y'all have a good night. Enjoy the darkness. Peace.